Let me tell you something, people. This is yet another piece of evidence that Oprah Winfrey is fake news. News people do not require the campaign to pay us so we can interview them. I did a town hall.
We all know what we're voting against. So I want to end by reminding you about a few things that we're voting for. We are voting to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States. We are voting for values. We are voting for values and integrity.
Oprah just got hit with a reality check. And guess who's waving the receipts? Megyn Kelly rolled in like that friend who tells you your outfit's a disaster before you flop at the party. This isn't some polite clapback. It's a full-on demolition with verbal wrecking balls and zero mercy. If you thought Oprah was untouchable, brace yourself. Megyn turned the Oprah Winfrey Show into the Oprah WinSD Show, and the chaos is unreal.
This election, when I sat down with the Tim Walz Stolen Valor former colleagues, do you think I charged them to set up this? No, I didn't. Megyn Kelly paid for it. The Megyn Kelly Show, along with SiriusXM. What's happening here? It's just a way of lining your pocket. Like, wink, wink, Oprah, sure would be great if you would set up this town hall for us and we'll pay you $1 million for your beautiful set, and then maybe you could endorse it.
Oprah has spent decades buffing her image into something so glossy you'd think she was forged in a Hallmark movie factory. She's not just a person. She's a brand, a lifestyle, a spiritual mood board stitched together with book clubs and car giveaways. For years, the world treated her like society's moral GPS, guiding us to inspiration, kale smoothies, and overpriced bath towels from her annual favorite things list.
I used to love Oprah, like most of us who grew up when we did. And only now did I realize I've been getting spoon-fed propaganda from this woman for years. Took her little setup packages as gospel. Before I was a reporter, I never even thought to question whether Oprah might be intentionally misleading me. Then last night, the dawn came and I was like, oh my God, she is not a reporter. She's a propagandist, trying to shove messaging down my throat of whatever she believes, not what's real. So
she built her empire on the idea of being untouchable, a billionaire goddess floating above critique, wrapped in a you get a car aura of kindness. But pedestals make falls way more entertaining. Megyn Kelly didn't show up with a feather to nudge Oprah's legacy. She brought a sledgehammer. Her sharp, icy bluntness cuts through PR fluff like a hot knife through vegan butter.
You remember she did that kind of factual interview after the, quote, documentary of Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
That was so dishonest.
Yeah.
She did not raise any of those accusers' serious compromising facts when she had them right there. Maybe they're telling the truth, maybe they're not. But as a journalist, you have to at least ask. You've got multiple lawsuits against his estate, sir. Might that be an incentive to lie? Didn't ask. You've got these accusations against him. You had a book that you were supposed to produce about Michael Jackson in the context of litigation where you were required to turn this stuff over, and you lied saying that you didn't have it. And you only got found out because Random House and these other publishers admitted you shopped it to them and turned over the metadata to Michael Jackson's estate.
It's almost poetic. On one side, Oprah, the queen of cozy optimism, the ultimate safe space draped in cardigan wisdom. On the other, Megyn Kelly, sharp, blunt, and allergic to sacred cows. If Oprah's the comfort food of media, Megyn's the black coffee no one asked for, but suddenly needs. Watching these worlds crash feels like tossing a yoga retreat to a Navy SEAL to run.
When was the last time Oprah actually spent time hanging out with a working class person in America? She's on her Montecito estate with one of the most beautiful mansions known to man. And that is why she did not follow up with Kamala Harris in response to that stupid gun question with, well, you're on camera saying that you favor mandatory gun buybacks. So how would that work? The Oprah enthusiasm worked when it was genuine. She first hit the scene in like the 1980s and she was fresh out of Chicago. She was in Chicago for the launch of her national talk show. She was something electric and interesting and authentic, I miss Fat Oprah. She was just genuine. Now this thin Ozempic Oprah has lost, along with the pounds, her...
Oprah's legacy is practically a religion. She turned daytime TV into a temple where guests confessed, audiences wept, and home viewers felt spiritually uplifted just by tuning in. She launched careers, sold millions of books, and made therapy talk primetime gold. People treated her words like gospel. Politicians would sell their souls for that sway. She endorsed candidates, causes, and lifestyles, and people followed. Oprah wasn't just a host. She was America's high priestess. But what happens when the priestess forgets her own sermons? When that endless compassion looks curated? Enter Megyn Kelly, diving in with gusto that makes you wonder if she runs on celebrity tears.
Her schoolgirl affectations and body movements. Like, okay, ready? Here it is. Like, okay. She raises herself off her chair. Like, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited about this. Okay.
You're so bright.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something you haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Right, like that. Right.
The spark wasn't some latte spat. It was Oprah dropping another grand moral, political, or societal take that sounds deep on Instagram, but crumbles under real-world lens. People nodded politely. Who dares challenge Oprah? But Megyn took one look at the glittery package and said, "Nice speech, but where's the consistency?" That's when the wrecking ball swung. She didn't just poke, she dissected, lining up Oprah's shiny image against the messy truth, asking why no one else saw the gap. It wasn't a gentle nudge, it was a demolition derby. Suddenly, the warm fuzzy empire faced someone who wouldn't play along. The timing? Perfect. Oprah's untouchability's been fading. The style clash seals it. Oprah lights a candle for a gratitude meditation. Megyn flips the lights on, asking, why pretend everything's fine when it's not?
One of the other things that's unique to America, for better or worse, is the huge population of obese people. And we're going to end this on a lighter note. Kind of, it's a pun. It's not really a lighter note. Well, it kind of actually is a lighter note. Oprah is admitting she's on Ozempic. And I know this is, our team asked you what was interesting to you today. This was on your list and mine. Because of course, you've done a lot of shows on Ozempic. I've listened to some of them. We've talked about this, there's a bunch of drugs. That's just one of the name brands. And now she said she originally wouldn't go on it because she thought it would be, quote, cheating. But now she's admitted that her recent weight loss is due to Ozempic. So what do you make of it?
One thrives on vibes, the other on cold confrontation. Watching Megyn unravel Oprah's crafted persona is like a slow-motion balloon pop, loud, inevitable, unmissable. The beauty? Megyn didn't lean on sass alone. She brought reasoning, facts, and examples. Oprah's influence isn't just fluff. It shapes elections, cultural talks, and blinds people to question her. That's why Megyn's critique hit like a sucker punch. She flipped on fluorescent lights in a room of candlelit perfection, stunning everyone. Oprah's faced minor storms before, but no one's hit this hard, this direct, with this much sarcasm. It felt taboo and hilarious since she's been critique-proof for years. Now the cracks show, and people can't stop buzzing.
That was very compromised, and she had him right after the documentary. It aired on HBO right after. Didn't ask a question. Then she gets Meghan Markle. That was another propaganda fest where she didn't even try to pretend to be a journalist. And then we get the debacle last night.
Yes. So, great point about the Michael Jackson thing, because Oprah is a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, right? You would think anyone, especially a journalist coming from that background, would view him with a bit more of a jaundiced eye rather than be in the business of image rehabilitation for this guy.
No, but she wasn't.
This is just the start. The best part of Megyn's takedown isn't the words. It's how it forced everyone to face dodged questions. If Oprah's not untouchable, which idols need a reality check? Megyn ditches the gloves, showing Oprah's glitter empire is papier-mâché. No gossip or vague jabs. She brought a dossier of contradictions, so obvious you'd think she's Oprah's disappointed accountant. First crack, hypocrisy. Oprah preaches balance, humility, simplicity, then flaunts billion-dollar mansions and private jets like she's auditioning for Succession. The do as I say, not as I do vibe. Megyn called it out, asking, self-help or sales pitch? Oprah's cloud talk lifts you. Megyn's hail strike grounds you, making that cloud look man-made.
And the accusers may or may not have had this experience with Michael Jackson.
Oh, you're talking about the HBO doc?
Yes.
Yes.
But she failed to bring up prior inconsistencies in their stories that really did compromise their stories. I don't know what happened.
I understand what you're saying.
So
Okay.
I'm just saying, as a journalist, which she purports to be,
Right.
it was a complete fail.
Right.
And then she committed the same failure with Meghan Markle,
Yes.
where she didn't press any of her claims of racism in the royal family.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have the ultimate culmination of her journalistic fails,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where she has the potential next president of the United States. And not only does she not ask her hard questions, the whole thing was an attempted rehab and repackaging of her.
That town hall I thought was so suspicious because
But it didn't stop there. Megyn targeted Oprah's political pull, where it got juicy. Oprah's not just a celeb, she's a kingmaker. Her endorsements tip elections, her opinions ripple like gospel, and people follow like she's Moses parting political chaos. Megyn dared to ask, why should one billionaire host wield that democracy sway? That slap woke the nation. Oprah's guiding star image shifted to a puppet master behind the curtain. She can push a dodgy diet book, shady product, or political pick, and people still say she means well. Megyn sliced through that halo, saying intent doesn't erase impact.
Clip has been circulating on social media. I saw it on X a couple of times. And it was back when we still liked Oprah in 1988, when she was still somewhat self-deprecating and likable, not her billionaire actress self. Like, what? With Meghan Markle. What? They wanted to know how dark your baby was? What? We don't like that version. However, Fat Fun Oprah was great. So Oprah had Trump on in 1988 when he was, by my math, 41 years old.
Wow.
And listen to this exchange. What would you
Here's where it gets funny. Watching Oprah's polished image get shredded by someone unbothered by backlash. Megyn didn't tiptoe with polite nods or disclaimers. She swung facts like baseball bats, daring rebuttals. It was like lighting a match amid scented candles and yelling, "Fireworks, anyone?" The punch landed hard because no one else would say it. Oprah's lived in a reverence bubble. Politicians fear her power. Celebs chase her approval. Fans cling to her words. Criticism there feels like heresy. Megyn launched a rebellion, shouting in the cathedral that the stained glass is fake. The split was gold. Oprah fans fired off inspirational memes and leave her alone vibes, while Megyn's crew passed popcorn, cheering the chaos.
Oprah. I've talked about it on my podcast with Peter Attia. I talk about it to anyone who will listen. I used Ozempic. I lost 15 pounds on it. I was on the lowest dose, and it was incredibly effective. And, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. No one should follow my medical advice. But there are horribly deleterious effects from being massively overweight. And now the fact that people who have struggled for an extremely long time, as Oprah's talked about struggling, I mean, that's been a huge part of her public persona, can take a drug that is so unbelievably effective. Good for her. And I don't know if you agree or not, but I think that it's a good thing to take the stigma away from.
The best twist? Oprah's defenders leaned on old excuses. She's just helping, or she's human. But that's Megyn's point. If she's human, why treat her like an infallible deity whose every word's gospel? Defending her flaws highlighted that her image was just that, an image Megyn turned to confetti. Imagine Oprah's brand as a perfect wedding cake, elegant and frosted. Megyn face plants into it, not out of spite, but to prove it's the same crumbly mess beneath. People were shocked but hooked. Finally, someone treated Oprah like a regular person. That truth, delivered with biting sarcasm, made you laugh and nod.
I really feel like she's just out of step with where broadcasting has gone since she was a star. Not screaming in people's faces. She's out of touch.
Thanks for joining us for this very special event. You need hope and joy rising. And there's been a... Can you feel it? You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. We can feel it. Shifts for Kamala. Love that group. Republicans for Harris. Love that group even more.
The humor peaks imagining Oprah's reaction. She built an empire controlling narratives, and here's Megyn, refusing the script. It's like Oprah's choreographed Broadway hit got stormed mid-act by Megyn with a megaphone yelling, "This is nonsense." Stunned silence follows. It wasn't about agreeing with her tone, it was someone cracking the code, yanking the rug from an icon. Instead of a goddess, it's a billionaire with flaws and sway. It exposed our culture's celeb worship as if they're flawless. Once Oprah's image cracked, the dominoes fell. If she's scrutable, maybe no one's above it.